And welcome back to part 22 of What If Naruto Had the Rinnegan. Now, in the last part, we had the whole Gaara rescue arc, and there was a question in the comments that got brought up. I think it's a question that I do need to address as kind of a house cleaning thing. And that is, why did Naruto use the seventh outer path to basically save Gaara's life, and not the, we actually don't know what number paths the paths are, but the Naraka path, the King of Hell. And the problem for me is I'm like, I couldn't actually rationalize the King of Hell, because the King of Hell we've only ever see heal one of the pains. That's the only thing we've ever seen that the Naraka path actually heal. So it stands to reason that might be the only thing the Naraka path can actually heal. Now, when he uses the seventh path to bring back all the lives lost in the village, the King of Hell does show up to release all those souls. But that was like a mass revival, so, and that's also probably why it killed him. And I think that's why the King of Hell had to be brought in to basically really bring back all those souls. When we see Obito forced to use it because of Zetsu and Madara, there's no King of Hell that does that. It's just Madara being brought to life and Obito's life force being used for that. And Obito still survived that as well. Granted, he wasn't doing too well, but he still survived that. In Gaara's case, he was like 95% dead, but he was still, his life force was barely hanging on. The fact that he had a little of the Shikaku's life force in there also helped him there. Now, a lot of Shikaku's chakra left, but it's still a little bit in there, which is then assimilated into his own chakra mass. So honestly, it made more sense for me to use the outer path, also because Gaara, Naruto ultimately considered a friend and someone he could relate to, would be more willing to put his life on the line like that just from the get. Plus, he can't guarantee from medical ninjutsu he'd be able to bring Gaara back. He just knows that it's a issue. So now we cut over to the death of Azuma. Naruto's been training. He's got the Rasen Shuriken down. He even knows how to throw it because of Sage Mode and all that. The other Rasengans are going to have to wait because the death of Azuma has been brought up. Now, the Kakuzu and Hidan, that happened more or less the same, except with the knowledge that because all the Akatsuki now know Naruto has the Rinnegan. Like, there's no hiding that. So they're a little wary of the fact, and they're hoping to draw Naruto out. But they're also where it's like, we can't beat the leader. What makes you think we can beat this guy? Hidan obviously would probably just not give a rat's ass. And, I'd say, come on, we'll take the Fox back, no problem. Just because he got the Rinnegan doesn't mean he can use it as well as the boss can. And honestly, this is where we're going to see a big deviation, because Obito, Nagato, and Konan have been talking about what exactly are they going to do. You can see a meeting happening where Obito is just trying to say the Foxbrat has the Rinnegan. This was not made apparent. There was no information to say that he had those eyes, nor how he gained them to begin with. And you are the only one who shouldn't possess those eyes, Pain, or Nagato in this case. And Nagato, Yaiko, Pain himself, is very much like, I'm not. It must be his eyes cannot be the true Rinnegan. Only I possess the true Rinnegan. I am the child. I am the one who will bring peace in this world. He is just an instrument for that. His eyes will fall to mine. And Obito is very do not disappoint me, Nagato. Do not disappoint me. And he kind of looks on and just looks at him going, Nagato. To which Pain just like, don't call me that name. So you get the death of Azuma, and obviously you get Team 10 wanting to get their payback. Now, because they don't have a leader, Kakashi obviously goes with him and with them to figure out if he can help. To help. Why did I say figure out? To help. And the question very much becomes then, do Naruto, Sasuke, and Sakura provide backup in this case? Well, I think they would, but you're not seeing Sai, and um, you're not seeing Yamato either. Sorry, Yamato. You're not seeing Yamato either. It's just them because they're all three of them are Jonin. Hinata, I said Sakura, Hinata, Sasuke, and Naruto provide backup. So immediately when the whole fight with Kakuzu and Hidan take place, it's like we were hoping to lure the fox brats out, not you brats again. And sure enough, Naruto shows up, Sasuke and him do a collaboration jutsu because I'm sure Sasuke can use some water jutsu. And honestly, someone he could probably use on some level all 5 chakra elements, to be frank. But anyway, they counter it out, and Kaku's is like, so you finally arrived, and you brought those eyes. Tell me, and he just looks at it. Tell me, Brad, is it true what they say of the Rinnegan? That if it possesses upon its user all 5 chakra elements, and Naruto suddenly kind of just gets his Sage mode on and just. You want to find, as you looking to find out, as he suddenly makes just clones, just all 5 clones or 4 clones for all 5, and all 5 of them are getting Rasen, or have jutsus ready in each element. And except he's got his Rasen Shuriken going on. It's like so be it. Let us begin. All of a sudden, he's just feeling something. What is this? And it's like, and Sasuke's just looking. It's like, this is Genjutsu. Did you really expect us to expect someone as dangerous as you? We'd let someone as dangerous as you to just, attack us like it's nothing. And he's just, and then Naruto throws Rasen Shuriken and Kakuzu's, done. Obviously, Shikamaru gets his revenge on Hidan. It's all good. Now, what's going on here? Well, they arrive back at the village. Only to, and I'm trying to remember my time frame correctly. Was this the point where Jiraiya had left and died afterwards? Did he come back? No, they found out that Jiraiya had died after the Sasuke retrieval. Jiraiya was still around for a little longer at this point. So Jiraiya, is going to investigate, the Rain Village. He bids his farewells. Says, "It's like Naruto, look after each other. All right, kid, I'll be back. Don't worry. Come on, it's me." It's like, yeah, that's what I'm worried about, old man. Oh, are you ever going to show me some sort of respect back for the day you deserve it? And then you kind of just glare at each other a little bit, but they both give a smile. It's like they do have a kind of a father as son relationship. So to some degree. Ooh, sorry, hiccups. Now we get to a scenario where I've always liked these scenarios where Jiraiya's out doing his thing, but Itachi basically, sends the message to Sasuke when he's in the village that, all right, you want those answers, you come for them. And in Sasuke, and when Sasuke's in a relationship, I always like the scene where to set up the scene where it's like he's just, he wakes up in bed and he sees whoever his, lover at the time is in bed, just sleeping. He gets a smile, goes out into the terrace, looks at the night, and then the crow comes and gives the message. Sasuke's not dating anyone this, so it's more just him kind of like waking up in the middle of the night, like something's off, kind of looks at the night, and then he sees the crow and he gets the message. Now, him and Naruto are responsible, Jonin, but they also have the personal history with Itachi. They definitely go out and they definitely wait, tell the fifth, tell Tsunade, and Tsunade's just like, this is a trap, right? Right, Naruto, Sasuke, that this. But we need answers. Is what Sasuke and Naruto would say to Tsunade. It's like he didn't just do this for power. There was something behind this. And Tsunade, I think, being the Hokage, I think probably. See, we're led to believe that the new Hokage does inherit a lot of the information of the old Hokage, but there is no 100% proof of evidence of that. So we don't know if Tsunade knew of the Uchiha massacre and what really transpired or not. If we are to believe that that's the case, then that she knows, then I actually see Tsunade basically saying, setting up seals and saying, Naruto, Sasuke, what I'm about to tell you is among the highest guard secrets, including even as high as your eyes and your containers and your tenant. Naruto, to which Naruto's like, what? It's like, that night, being the Hokage, the information of the previous is left for you to deal with. And excuse me, my voice is going. I've done like 4 or 5 videos already. I'll tell you, Itachi did not kill the clan for power, and she explains the clan were going to commit a coup d'état. And she's like, what? And it's like, and we learned about it from this and this and this. Danzo, that old warhawk, for all the problems he causes and is still apparently causing, isn't without his uses. And he gave it, and he his sources found this information. We third verified it, and they had to make the choice. And now it's all coming together. Why Sasuke was spared? Why he took down his mother and everything like that? Why the clan? It's all coming together. So Sasuke is now trying to process this information. This is why we can't have you go, Sasuke. We know it's a trap. Even if he tells you the truth, he's going to. There's no way he can come back to the village. He's seen as a traitor in the eyes of civilians. It'd be near impossible to remedy that. And in fact, he's also got to play up appearances for the Akatsuki. Like either way, there's no helping him. There's no saving him in this case. And Naruto and Sasuke are just like, Naruto looks on at Sasuke, who's just like, just looking over, and Naruto's just like, you gotta let us try regardless. Itachi saved my life. He's Sasuke's brother. He's my friend. But we gotta at least give him that chance to try. Try. And Tsunaya's like, very well, fine, but only Sasuke. It's like, what? It's like, Naruto, with the Akatsuki are on the move, and from what we saw, or from what you said briefly in your encounter in the cave at their base, yours isn't, because this is the one thing I think that it probably isn't focused on as much in this scenario that I didn't bring up but admittedly I forgot to bring it up, but to be fair, I don't think anyone was actually paying attention to the person over there, except for not even Naruto initially, but afterwards he probably made mention of believing he saw another set of Rinnegan. If what you're saying is true, there's another Rinnegan user out there, the leader, and if he's coming, he's going to become free. He's not going to know where you are. He's going to come. He may come to this village, and if he's as powerful as you, if not stronger, having those eyes for longer, basically, is what she's saying. He's probably had these eyes longer than you have. He's probably maybe even more experienced than you are. So while keeping you as dangerous, not having you here, if he shows up, it actually might be worse. And Naruto does think about this, like it's actually a fair point, because it's true that he briefly saw another pair of Rinnegans, and he thought his were the only ones. So he's like, fine. He's just Sasuke, and basically gives him like a special, basically saying use my blood for the summoning if you need to. Basically a way, if you need my help, I'll be there for you no matter what. And basically, like, he makes a clone. I keep saying basically. He makes a clone, basically transforms it, because Naruto knew that interesting transformation user to turn him into a solid form. So he turns him basically into like a solid form that he can carry, kind of like Demon Windmill Shuriken style. And he's like, keep it with you. If you need me, I'll be there. So, and he smiles and heads out. So you cut to Sasuke going to deal with Itachi. And, Kasame obviously stops and is like, so you're Sasuke, you're Itachi's little brother. I remember you've grown up quite a bit, huh? And it's like, get out of my way, Kasame. It's like, no, of course, I'm actually here. I was here to make sure no one would get in the way. I'm surprised your little friend Naruto isn't with you. I was looking forward to a rematch. And I was like, no, he has to stay behind. It's probably for the best. Make things easier when Leader Sama gets a hold of him. And Sasuke is like, so he is after him. It's like, yeah, but don't worry about that right now. And Sasuke, you and your brother have a heart-to-heart. I promise no one's going to interrupt you two. And yeah, so he goes and talks to Itachi. And this time, however, it's a very different conversation. He's less angry and more just needing to understand. It's like, these were your family. I know they're going to do terrible things, but how could you still take out your family? And Itachi, for the most part, is just like, you spoke to the fifth, didn't you? It's and Itachi's eyes actually do soften, and but Itachi's not stupid. He's probably sure Zetsu's watching. Like he in the corner of his eye somewhere, he can actually see. He's like, Zetsu's here too. It's like, oh, this will be a problem. So Itachi, it does explain, yes, that's true, but it's too late for that now. Now, Sasuke, you see, I don't have long. It's implied it was tuberculosis, although it's never fully said what exactly Itachi had. It's something that is at least mirroring tuberculosis, but not quite tuberculosis, or it could just be tuberculosis. But he was coughing up blood. And the only way for my life to be spared is to take your eyes. You see, Sasuke, you are my eyes. You are going to be my spare eyes. And he's subtly kind of hinting with his language too. It's like, I'm not going to live past this no matter what, but we got to make it look like, basically he actually he's having this conversation, but he uses the genjutsu not to torture Sasuke, but to actually have a legitimate conversation in the mindscape. Briefly, but we got to make this look good. I'm not going to live much longer. I've maybe got an hour or so, be honest with you. The more strain my eyes put on my body. To be honest, if he had not used all of his chakra and everything like that, he actually probably would have lived longer. I think everything he was using, Susanoo, Amaterasu, Tsukuyomi, it was all just putting so much strain on his body. He killed him. But we're gonna have to make this look good. I'm not. I probably, at best, I might have a couple days to a week left, but from what one of our members, Zetsu, is watching, so we got to make this look good, Sasuke. But in the end, take my eyes. My eyes belong to you. I need you to, I need you to basically, bring back the clan, be what the clan was supposed to be. Honor me, honor mother, honor father, all that. No matter, and make sure to watch out for Naruto. I know you two really were able to still stay friends after all these years. And no matter what, remember, and he just does the head tap in his mind. Just, I'll always love you, little brother. Now give me all you got and don't hold back. To Sasuke, there's tears in his eyes, and Sasuke's just, and in the real world too, so there's tears in his eyes, like, and his eyes, his eyes harden with determination. He's like, very well, come, brother, and they have the fight. Only this time it's Itachi, while he is going all out, he is making sure to make sure he's like Amaterasu. He's making sure to time it so that Sasuke has enough time to dodge more than anything else. And ultimately, it does come down to Sasuke winning and Itachi falling dead, and Sasuke basically, I won, putting on the show more or less while taking Itachi's eyes. And now Zetsu's like, oh, Obito's not gonna like this. He's not gonna like this, and Sasuke's heading off. Now this results in, as he's heading off, Obito basically showing us like, ah, Sasuke, so there you are. As we finally meet. Meanwhile, back at the village, a mysterious person is launched into the village, only to summon the other 6 paths of pain. Pain's invasion of the leaf has started. Along with Kona joining in too. And immediately it's turmoil. Like, all the things, the summoning animals take place, or summoning animals are going forth. Azura Path is wreaking havoc. But while the Jonin are like keeping him at bay, and Kakashi, it does have the the interaction with the Deva Path that he originally did. Everything else basically comes down to the fact that once, like, when the animal path summons a path, let's say the dog comes out or the centipede comes out, all of a sudden the centipede just disappears. He's like, the king of hell, whilst interrogating someone, suddenly just disappears, and the Naraka path's like, what is this? And all of a sudden he just hears the call of the Naruto, if you will. It's like, you're looking for me, looking for me. And then he sees Naruto on the Hokage's mountain with the centipede and the king of hell. And it's like, so there he is. And 2 Rinnegans are now staring each other straight in the face. And Naruto's just doesn't have the smile on his face. He's more just like, It's like, right, no, let's take the, and the summonings disappear, and he immediately just heads straight towards Pain, and just basically is face to face with him. And he's like, "So you come, and it's true, you do possess the Rinnegan." It's like, I could say the same to you. I never thought I didn't think I thought I was the only one with these eyes. And it says, "Who are you?" "I am Pain, leader of the Akatsuki. I am the true holder of these eyes. I am here to bring peace to the world, and you are a valuable asset to that. As someone who also possesses these eyes, as inferior as they may be." And I think, and that's the thing, because Pain has been led to believe that he is going to save the world, and he's got these eyes that are, legendary eyes. I imagine he would be a little arrogant when seeing someone else with a Rinnegan, thinking his are the true Rinnegan. Granted, they're actually Obito's, which were originally Madara's, but point being, and it's, as someone who possesses similar eyes to me, you should know the logic in this, the peace that comes from it. And meanwhile, Jiraiya is in the Rain Village, wondering like, what's going on? Why can't I find this guy? Like, Jiraiya is basically in this version has been led on a wild goose chase. He's like, if you come now, come peacefully. At least I'll even spare this village for a time before the time has come to make an example of it. To which Naruto's just, his fist is clenched, and he's like, It's like, tell you what, I'll go with you, but not to be not as I'll go with you, but only because I think we should take this outside. And and he's like, you're really going to do this, Naruto? Fight me one on six, is it? Is that you can't win no matter what. No matter what you may think of your abilities, mine are superior. And Naruto's like, well, we'll see about that. And Naruto just suddenly just moves, and he moves fast because I imagine he can like pump wind and lightning chakra through his body for a little extra boost, along with like your standard chakra boosts. And he just goes, "Come on, follow the leader." It's like, very well. And then, he goes after him, and Naruto leads him away from the village. Everyone else is admittedly at ease, but and Tsunade's just like, damn it, Naruto. It's like, you better not lose this. And sure enough, Naruto gets far enough away where honestly, I can see him basically leading him all the way to the Valley of the End, pretty much. And Naruto standing on the first head, whereas, Pain and the Pats are standing on Madara's head. And Pain even takes in this the area. It's just like, it's like, so the Valley of the End. A fitting place for this confrontation, isn't it, Naruto? It's like, talk's cheap. Why do you? It's like, why are you doing this? Like, and Pain explains his view and everything like that. You have no choice. You are my valuable Jinchuriki, and I will take it. And all the Pains basically, bring out their chakra rods. And I believe, and really, it was only the Deva. No, I think they all could do it, but the Devapath was the one that really could. That was like the main body for Nagato, because it was the Deva. It had Shinra Tensei, arguably the strongest path. But Naruto basically just makes, it's like, yeah, you got your tricks, and he makes the 5 clones, because 6 paths of Naruto. You got your 6 paths, I've got mine. And they go toe to toe. Shinra Tensei, Basho Tennen, as they basically pull and attract each other. Just boom, it's like, and it basically Naruto comes rushing in, and Devapath actually has to dodge, like. It's like he even thinks like he counteracted the Shinra Tensei with Basho Tennen. It's counteracting the push with the pull, basically kept us at arm's length, and he then used the Basho Tennen to pull himself towards me. Tennen, to which Naruto all of a sudden just said Azura Path, which Devapath's like, crap. All of a sudden his Devapath comes in, takes the blow point blank, just boom. But he goes flying, throws more rockets at Naruto, who then one of his paths uses Shinra Tensei, blocking that. Meanwhile, one of the Naruto paths comes in and tries to use the human path on one of the Nagato or the Pains, only to find like there's no soul in this. All he can sense is chakra. What's going on here? To which, in this case, it's the Preta path, which just absorbs the chakra out of the Naruto cloud and pops out of existence, only for Naruto to be like, this isn't going to work, and all of a sudden just returns to his normal state after basically taking out the Azura path like he did originally, giving up already. And it's like, no, I just realized it's going to be easier one on 5. You really think it's going to be that easy? As the King of Hell comes out, he actually sees the Azura path get eaten. He's like, what the hell? And then pops back out. All is like, oh, I didn't see that coming. He's like, I told you, Brett. I told you, boy, my skills far exceed yours. Is that a fact? And all of a sudden, Nagato actually sees his eyes suddenly change the pigment, and his see. I wonder what a Sage Mode Rinnegan would look like, because we don't see one when you think about it. I would imagine, because it's the frog eye, it's still the people, but it's just a circle. So I'm imagining Rinnegan with a gold ring, and the eye is now slit, or a horizontal slit instead of a pupil. And Naga's like, is that? And then all of a sudden Naruto rushes, and then it comes after and hits both the Naraka and the Preta path, and just boom, I'd imagine he makes another clone first, because he can only handle like 3 clones in Sage Mode initially. I think he can handle more, but he wants to pretty much maximize his efforts, and just boom, cracks both their necks with the frog katas. And he's like, what was that? I couldn't see a thing. Human path comes in, but Naruto basically just uses like a wind technique, just like a slicing blade. All of a sudden he makes a Rasen Shuriken and throws it at the remaining paths. Animal path uses summoning, but Naruto just summons right back. Now, I believe the summoning is like a collective summoning. Like, they pool from the same summoning sources. So the melee Naruto summons the animal right back, so the animal's not going to take the brunt, and then they got to get out of the way. Animal path suddenly gets shredded, which now brings us all the way down to Azura path, and David path left. Like, Nagato's like, how in the world could he do such a thing? It's like, how is he this skilled? And it's like, and Naruto actually can pretty much figure out what he's thinking. He's like, you're probably wondering how I'm kicking your ass so much right now. And he just throws like chakra rods at him, which Naruto's like, and it's like six, Rinnegan. I think Naruto would call it like Rinnegan art. Rinnegan art. Chakra pincushion. It's like, what? And all of a sudden just boom, just spikes all fly out, basically like a sea urchin, like exploding needles, and they all just hit each of the Azura's able to block most of them, but David actually has to like block him after throwing his own chakra rod. And he's still not able to block them all, even with Shinra Tensei and Basho Tenen. He actually gets wounds like, ugh. And sure enough, Naruto can kind of sense a little bit, because it's Naruto's chakra too. That's Naruto's chakra in him. Similar to how we did it with Sage Mode, where he basically inserted the chakra rod in him to sense where Nagato was. His chakra's in the pain body. So now he can kind of give an idea in Sage Mode where Nagato is. But the David path basically just immediately retracts the blades. Like, you think you're so skilled. How? It's skilled. No, I know. And Naruto actually does glow. No, I know it's skilled. You know why? And all of a sudden, he just is suddenly right in between them. Shinra Tensei! And they clash, but all of a sudden, Naruto's like, Naruto's holding on his other hand as the other clone had been basically working on another thing, and the other clone grabbed it, and just suddenly Shibaku Tensei. Oh no! And all of a sudden, the debris from the Valley it in starts collecting around, the David path. Shinra Tensei, and he's blasting him back, but it's not stopping the actual little black hole he made, which also now is gathering the Azura path, and all of a sudden it's basically just crushing and sealing the Death path. Just keeps trying to block, but he can't, because the 5-second interval and the amount of earth that's being collected around him is just huge. And Naruto just stops it and basically just using gravity, using both sides of gravity, just crushes both bodies. And Naruto basically says as he crushes both bodies, just the reason I'm better than you is because you're one mind divided through 6, but I'm 6 divided into 1, or I'm one body basically. I have all these abilities on my own. You spaced yours out between 6 different bodies, to which then he immediately starts to head over to where Nagato is. Konan basically showed back up, watching over Nagato this whole time. It's like, he defeated all of them, even the David path. He did, and Nagato's actually like, his power to think someone could be more skilled than me with these eyes, to think these eyes could even exist. And Naruto just kind of studs in and is like, yeah, it's a conundrum, isn't it? And Nagato's just looking at him, just, ugh. He's actually, I see you, so you're finally here. And he fires the big chakra rod in him to see if he can control him directly, which does not go well, because Naruto just jettisons it back out. It's like, ugh. But Naruto is a little hurt by that. Just, It's like it's like you do realize I can make these things too, right? Watch as he just kind of wrecks Nagato's chair. Just and the only difference is I've got more creativity than you do. It's like, and Nagato even points as like, no, the only difference is I've given up I've given everything for the sake of peace, including my own body. That's why the paths had to be made. It's like you couldn't just make one path. You had to do, it had to, space it between multiple forms. And it's like in hindsight, no, maybe I should have just made one body just like you, but the strain would be too much. And so now Nagato realizes like, I can't beat this guy. Even if I threw everything I had on him right now, it's clear this guy's younger. This guy's actually and he's still in Sage mode. This guy's clearly been able to outmatch me. Like, this isn't good. And Conan's getting ready to step in. It's like, it's okay, Conan. If taking my life is what he plans to do, and so be it. In which Naruto's looking at him, and Naruto's look on his face after having the kind of quip with the smile on his face is now more It's like, do I plan to kill this guy? And he looks and is like, I think you're mistaken. I had no intention of killing you. Only way I'm going to kill you is if I have to, and only if you make me. I don't want to kill you if I don't have to. To which Nagato's like, then you are a fool. Saying, or maybe I just see things differently than you do. And Nagato's just like, how could you possibly see things differently than me? And then Naruto is, now his Talk no Jutsu would not involve Jiraiya per se. But Nagato, I think Nagato eventually would bring up that he is a student of the Toad Sage as well. And then you understand, and basically he tells him the tale of the Gutsy Ninja that Naruto read, and all that. And it does speak to Nagato. It's like, you don't have to be this way, Nagato. Jiraiya is still out there. You can make amends with Jiraiya. You don't have to be giving your life and all this for peace. Peace can be achieved without violence. There can be peace without war. They're all. It's like, if you just, that's what Sensei believes in. That's what I believe in. That's what it means to carry the will of fire. That's what it means to carry on hope. And Nagato does think about this, and he definitely, something about this is hitting him in a way, because this is someone with the same experience, really, same teacher, yet he took a different path. And Nagato is looking at, and Conan's looking at Nagato, just well, what do you want to do, Nagato? And Nagato just thinks on, and just closes his eyes, like, you truly are something, Naruto Uzumaki. And I can see why Jiraiya took you as a student. Going on, we're going home. We'll make no further effort against you or any of the remaining Jinchuriki. And again, Naruto Talk no Jutsu at its work, but also, let's be honest, he knows Naruto could beat his ass too. But I think Nagato, it's clear, if Naruto could reach the canon version of Nagato, granted it's with slightly different circumstances, then around it, then I think this version of Naruto, who's clearly shown that he's the younger, superior version, he's what Nagato should have been. I think they'd be able to reach that part of Nagato that was buried. I think that's probably what could happen. So basically, they head home. We will have to prepare for Madara's, because he doesn't know him as Obito. I think, although I might have addressed it as such, I think I might have addressed it as Obito speaking to Pain, but he knows him more as Madara. We're gonna have to wait, because he will come. As I failed, he will come. And so, who's he? And to which Nagato said, the true leader of the Akatsuki, Madara Uchiha. And yeah, so there could have been several ways I could have gone with this ending. That's where we're leaving it, by the way, where him and Conan are basically just going to leave. And I think basically he decides, because he's not going to do it anymore, that he's going to that Conan's basically going to get him a ride. He's going to get out of the suit, all that. He'll probably be more in a wheelchair than anything else, or at least some sort of prosthetic walker or whatever. I could have had this where Nagato let Naruto basically take his memories and his soul so Naruto could learn everything. I also could have had it, and this could have been, because we have no idea what happens when you do this, Well, actually, that's not entirely. Actually, no, we don't know what happens when you transplant a Rinnegan. What happens when you transplant a Rinnegan into a Rinnegan? Do you get a Mangekyo Rinnegan? I don't think so. Um, you probably would just get like heightened abilities of the same abilities. But either way, that's where we're leaving it off. I went a bit longer on this because I wanted to address the Kakuzu thing. I felt in the Hidan thing was very quick. I wanted to get that out of the way. I want to address the Itachi and the Pain attack arc in this chapter. I want to get that, so it went on a bit longer. I imagine we've probably got about another 2 chapters of this one, and then we'll probably be done. Because next we're going to be dealing with Obito and the fallout from that, and Killer B and all that, and then the 4th Shinobi War. What's going on with that, if anything? So keep your eyes on that. Until then, thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed. Like, comment, share, subscribe. As always, if you want us to review something, put in the comments below. Let us know. We'll do a review of it at some point. I just would win Star Wars Super Magic. What if anything to do with the channel? Put that in the comments below as well. I'll get that at some point. Thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you next time. Later.